Does your child have an IEP? Then you've come to the right place. If they have special education services, then you're going to be sitting in a ton of IEP meetings where your team is showing you pages and pages. Take a deep breath. You've got this. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you what an IEP looks like, where to look first, and how to read your child's IEP so you can advocate like a pro. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarick, your special education advocate to make IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button to get more videos like this in your inbox, and follow us on Instagram at Rise Ed Advocacy. Here's what you need to know about IEPs. Individual education plans, also known as IEPs, are regulated under IDEA law. The problem is parents aren't given the instructions and directions, so you know what to ask for and how to get it. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you all the information because, pro tip, your IEP team could be writing an IEP right now for your child that's based on deficits and doesn't help your child make real progress. That's why I'm so excited that you're watching this video. Let me ask you something. Has your team explained what these acronyms mean? FAPE, LRE, procedural, safeguard, comprehensive assessments? Don't stress, I've got you covered. Make sure to get my first free guide, The 6 Pillars of IDEA, that lays out the exact definitions so you know what your team is talking about and you can advocate like a pro. Make sure to grab the link in the description box below and keep watching this video until the very end, where I'm going to give you all of my tips and resources so you can advocate like a pro. Okay, so we've already talked about what is an IEP. Now it's time to talk about what does it look like. Specifically, we're going to dive into inside the IEP. So here's what I want you to do right now. Go ahead and pause this video and walk over and go get your child's IEP and bring it back. I'll wait. Okay, did you get the IEP? Awesome. I want you to open it up and take a look through each individual page. Do you notice something? You're going to notice that there are different parts or sections of the IEP, also known as IEP content. That's because both federal and state guidelines require a specific order or sequence for every single IEP. Pro tip. Did you know that? So in order for you to understand better about the IEP contents and parts, make sure to check out my video, What is an IEP, that lays it out when it comes to the 8 parts of the IEP, so you can understand the content and what happens in the beginning and the middle and the end of the IEP. Make sure to grab the link in the description box below. Let's do a quick recap. So we've talked about what is an IEP and what does it look like. Now we're going to dive deeper into why you're watching this video. Specifically, where do you want to look first on your child's IEP? So you've got the IEP in front of you, right? So go ahead and take a look and let's do this together. When you look at the first page, this is called the informational page. It's going to have IEP dates on there and your child's personal identifiable information, possibly eligibility on there as well. Then followed by the next section, which is usually going to be the IEP progress report. That's going to tell you if your child has met the goal or not met the goal and why. Again, it depends on your state specific information for the order in this section. The next section is what I want to talk about. Do you see it? It's called present levels of achievement and functional performance. Notice pro tip, it says functional performance because this has to do with everyday life skills in terms of what your child can do, what they can't do, and what they need to learn. More about this in just a minute. So take a look at this section and it should be full of really important information. I'm going to dive more about this as we progress the video. But let me ask you something. Perhaps you're watching this video and you're like, April, I've got a meeting coming up. What do I need to bring to the meeting and how do I prepare? Make sure to get our free IEP meeting checklist that lays out the 5 must-haves that you need to bring to your meeting. I use it with every single one of my families and it is a game changer so you can advocate like a pro. Make sure to grab the link in the description box below. Okay, so now it's time to dig deeper. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the 4 parts that you want to look for inside the present levels of academic achievement and functional performance. So take a look inside your child's IEP. That data or information needs to be organized into 4 different sections. Are you ready? Pro tip, make sure to write this down. The first section or part 1 has to do with what your child can do. This has to do with their strengths. The second part has to do with what they can't do. And this is your child's unique learning needs. The third part is what your child needs to learn. And this has to do with on the IEP goals. And then finally, the 4th part has to do with the impact of your child's disability, also known as disability impact statement. So now that you understand those 4 different parts, you need to look inside your child's IEP and see if you see all of that information. It shouldn't just be standardized test scores. It should be relevant, useful, and meaningful everyday information. So let's talk about IEP meetings for a minute. The truth is, pro tip, that IEPs are a negotiation. It's true because you, the parent, and the school and all of the providers, you are negotiating at the table. So you need to know what to ask for and how to get it, like I always talk about. So in order to understand and get better negotiation tips, make sure to check out my video, how to do IEP meetings, with 4 tips that help you negotiate like a pro. It's exactly what I do with all of my families, and I teach them what to say and how to say it so that you can feel so much better at the table and you stop crying after every meeting because they're so stressful. Make sure to grab the link in the description box below. Hey! So now we've talked about the 4 parts inside the present levels of academic achievement and functional performance. Now it's time to talk about how to read your IEP. What am I talking about? That the present levels section shouldn't just be your child is able to do this. It also should incorporate the setups. What am I talking about? I'm talking about that it needs to clarify what your child needs and the performance conditions, specifically the underlying and the performance conditions. What am I saying? I'm saying that inside the present level section, there should be information on the accommodations that are needed for your child, if they need modifications, if they need supplementary aids and services, also known as SAS, and any recommendation services. So what am I saying? I'm saying clearly that it shouldn't just be spitting out the test scores or April is able to do this. That doesn't tell the team how to write the goals. That doesn't tell the team what services are needed. And that specifically doesn't tell the team what is the offer of free appropriate public education, also known as FAPE, in the least restrictive environment. So what can you do about this? You can get something called the Meeting Toolkit that I have, and it works actually for both IEPs and 504s. It's a digital download that I bring to every meeting, and here's how it's useful. It has a section on accommodations versus modifications. It has a specific standardized test score and bell curve. It finally breaks down what all of those crazy terms mean that people like me, school psychs use, and it lays out all the other information when you have an IEP or even a 504 plan so that you can successfully advocate instead of arguing with the school or trying to negotiate on your own terms. You have a digital guide or even a printout that makes it so much easier. Make sure to grab the toolkit link in the description box below. Now it's time to talk about IEP examples, specifically how to get the best IEP for your child. Here is the problem. Pro tip is that so many times when it comes to developing the IEP, especially on the present level section, the teams forget to talk about something called prompting and cueing. So here is the problem, is that so many times they'll say, well, they need prompts, well, they need cues, and they don't clarify the exact degree of mastery that's needed, and they don't clarify what types of prompts, how this works, because the truth of the matter is, pro tip, there's something called a prompt hierarchy that lays out the least restrictive environment, most independence to least independence. You need to know exactly what type of prompts you want your team to put together for your child and what types of cues and what this looks like on the present level section. Make sure to grab my free guide, the Prompt Hierarchy, which is a visual digital guide that I use with all my clients, and it works like a pro because anytime they talk about prompting and cueing, whether it's in the present level section, the goals, or even on the services section, you can bring it out and have your team clarify very specifically and very clearly what you need. Make sure to grab the link in the description box below. So let me ask you something. Perhaps you have an IEP meeting coming up and you're like, oh, I need help. I'm so frustrated with the meeting because the general education teacher is there and I don't know what to say. Here's the truth, pro tip, that there are 3 specific questions that you want to ask your teachers when they come to the meeting, and it helps direct the team to write the present levels. It helps to direct the team to write accommodations. It is a game changer. Make sure to check out my free video on those 3 questions to ask your general education teacher at every single IEP meeting. Grab the link in the description box below. So now you know what an IEP looks like, where to read it first, meaning the most important part, and how to advocate like a pro. So let me ask you something. What's the one thing that you want to do differently now that you have all this information before your child's next IEP? It's a really good one. Got a question? Make sure to put it in the link in the description box below. Want me to do another video? Yep, I can do that too. Make sure to grab our guides and toolkits and all the information in the description box. Like and subscribe to get more videos like this in your inbox every week, and follow us on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy. I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate. I can't wait to see you for our next video.